Hello, everybody. Warriors coach Steve Kerr brought in new offensive coordinator Terry Stotts. The Warriors have been trying to install a specific Terry Stotts play that they brought over from his days as the head coach of the Blazers. I call this a wheel play because one player ends up making a loop like this, and then another player ends up making another loop like this. So it all looks like a big wheel. So let's look at the Warriors running this play. Here, Lindy Waters is the first option. He gets one screen coming up and then a second screen going away. This kind of screen where the cutter is going away from the passer is called a flare screen. And in this play, the flare is the first option. Hal Anderson throws the pass over. This defender fought his way through this flare screen, and so he catches up to contest this Lindy Waters shot. Lindy ends up bailing out to Trayce Jackson-Davis, guarded by a slow big. His teammate is displaying a disturbing lack of faith in Castleton's defense, which is justified when Trayce dribbles by him. This defender's already rotated in to stop the drive, leaving GP2 completely open to the corner. Good pass from Trayce. Kabang. Here's another example. Trayce Jackson-Davis turns around and starts the play by setting a screen. The first cutter is going to loop around and get one screen and then a flare screen. Santos is going to completely nail this defender with his flare screen. Moody springs free, but he couldn't quite catch the ball cleanly. Attacks the closeout. This defender is super eager to be help defense behind the point of attack, which leaves Trayce Jackson-Davis dangerously close to the basket, which makes this defender sink in to cover Trayce. Beekman drives to make sure this defender keeps his attention on the paint, and a very nice find here to find the open Lindy Waters. The flare is always the first option. Melton is going to take the first screen and then get a flare screen from Trayce Jackson-Davis, but sometimes this option is not working out. So let's not forget the second half of the circle. Lindy Waters here is going to take this screen and loop around in a complementary way. Whenever someone is cutting up away from the basket and gets a screen that holds his defender down closer to the basket, this is called a pin-down screen. So Lindy Waters takes the pin-down screen, and Podziemski finds a second option. And Lindy Waters is not shy about shooting, and his defender is not shy about fouling. Here's another example. The cutter starts his loop with one screen, and then he turns around and gets the flare screen, but Podziemski chooses not to go this side. So the second option is Hield getting a pin-down screen on the other side. Passes on time. The defender had to take a weird route, but does recover enough to harass Hield, and that's okay. The Warriors can just flow into their classic split cut. Podziemski pointing that Hield should enter the ball to the post passer. In the classic split cut, you've got the post passer. Two players run at each other. One dives towards the basket, one pops out. Since Hield is new to these split cuts, Podziemski really spells it out, and he just points and says, hey man, you pop out and I'm going to dive. Isn't it messing up your own play if you're going to just say what's going to happen in front of these defenders? Well, amazingly enough, the play still works. Podziemski with a fast dive, Hield popping, beautiful pass from Anderson. Let's look at Steph Curry running this play. You can see Hield getting this first screen as he starts his loop. This version has a little extra pizzazz with Steph throwing the ball to Hield, and then Hield is going to give the ball right back to Steph and get this flare screen from Draymond. So Steph saw option one, which is this flare, and he didn't like that. On the other side, there's this pin down, and Steph is not going to take that option either. There's a third option built into this play. This flare screener can just step up and start a pick and roll. Very familiar now. Dre setting the screen. Steph penetrates the middle. He turns the corner on D'Angelo Russell. Anthony Davis here is ready to swat Steph into infinity. Steph is driving, hoping to draw Anthony Davis to help, which will allow Trayce Jackson-Davis here to sneak in and get a lob behind him. Look at Trayce's posture. He looks so stealthy. You can just hear the shark music. And that's enough to make Anthony Davis lean back in anticipation of this lob. And so Steph says, thank you very much. I'll just go attack the basket directly. Okay, I can't resist talking about one more play. Kyle Anderson with one of the more chill fast break dunks you'll ever see, but the bench still gives him a proper celebration. So we should do a proper celebration audit. First up off the bench is Jackson Rowe, very nice. Guy Santos not far behind. And Guy Santos is the first with arms up. The Rocky celebration pose, an oldie but a goodie. And oh, Trayce Jackson Davis quickly going up with the raise the roof. He beats Jackson Rowe to the punch here. But oh, Jackson Rowe pumping his roof raisers up and down. That kind of bidirectionality, I think, is in fact more hype than Trayce's admirable static raising of the roof. But hang on, it didn't look good for Steph Curry here because he is in fact seated, so he certainly could not raise the roof as high as the people who are taller and are standing up. But he's not only raising the roof with his hands, but he brings in foot technology to raise the roof. He's going full quadruped on the roof, folks. That's the kind of savvy that's going to put this fella in the Hall of Fame. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. And if you didn't enjoy this video, I promise I'll do better next time.